Many people also don't speak it anymore, but they are learning it, and we have to find one way how to teach Ainu language at schools.
So you think we already took an important step toward developing that system or organization anyhow to keep their culture?
Oh, I think the big step was to recognize Ainu people as indigenous peoples. Now it's step by step. I think there is no big step that can be made because it takes time, and you have to first. There are no teachers, many teachers of Ainu language, so it's not enough, and we have to teach teachers to be teachers. And
we don't have any teachers, right?
There's very few.
But there are.
There are.
Really?
Yes. And many people think that there are no more Ainu people, but there are, and there are different. We were talking with a friend the other day, but there are different Ainu people as well. There are some that are conscious of their identity, some that are not conscious of their identity, some that are half Ainu, some that are saying they're Ainu, some that don't say, that are hiding their identity just because of some discrimination reasons. So there are many levels of being Ainu and many different kinds of identities, and I think that's nowadays picture that we can have. And I think when we think about Ainu people, we have a lot of stereotypes. But they are living the 21st century's life, and on the other hand, they are trying to revitalize the knowledge of their ancestors and some kind of handwork and ceremonies and rituals and revitalizing the language. But next to that, they live the nowadays life of every Japanese person. So I think they are also evaluating with that, and we have to take that, of course, into consideration, not to make the stereotype, but it's a nice way to keep tradition as well.
Oh, so could you try some of our Ainu language?
So first of all, maybe Iran Karapte. That means nice to meet you, hello, and maybe that's for now. Rirai Kire, thank you for listening to this, and at the end maybe I will say Suyun Karanro, but not for now.
That's really amazing, for us, because we don't know much about our Ainu language. So now here you are, and you can speak.
I don't speak. I have a friend or a few friends that can. They don't say they speak, but I believe they could speak because they are really good in Ainu language. But through them and through my colleague, I can learn a lot. So I just know a few words for now. I hope learning more, and I hope we can begin to communicate in Ainu language. That would be one first step to revitalize the language, for example. So we do sometimes send messages in Ainu language as well.
Okay, well, so now could we talk about the life here? Do you enjoy your research work here?
Very, very much. Actually, I like Sapporo very much since the first day I arrived here. I don't know what happened, but I came out of the train station, Eki, and it was just some kind of feeling that I like this town. It was very peaceful, very quiet. And it still is. It's a huge town. I never thought it would be so big. And compared to Geneva, which is a small town in
Geneva is small?
It is small compared to Sapporo, yes. In Sapporo you have how many? 2 million?
2 million, almost.
Almost 2 million inhabitants. In Geneva we have maybe 400,000. So it's a huge difference. And I thought going from Chuoku to the Hokkaido to the university, I thought that was Sapporo because it was actually the same walking time than from my home to the university in Geneva.
Really?
Going from one part or the other to the other of the town. But actually here I discovered going to Maruyama Koen that from above I saw the huge city. So, but you don't feel it when you live here. And that's what I like in Sapporo, because there is a lot of nature. People are very kind and very how do you say? They welcome you in a very, very nice way, and it's very easy to live here. Actually,
really?
Yes.
Well, I was going to ask you, what kind of difficulty you have, living here, but
the only thing is that it could be closer to Europe, so it would be nice to be sometimes able to go for a weekend in Europe. But on the other hand, it's very nice here.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. And so now you're learning Japanese language?
Yes, I do. And what I wanted also to say that in the center where I'm doing my research, everybody welcomed me in such a nice way that it's really a pleasure to go every day to work.
Really?
It's incredible. And sometimes I do hear people have less contact with their teachers, or they have sometimes bad experience also being in Japan, but I think I'm very lucky.
Yeah, you ever heard of any bad experience of other people?
I did, yes. Some people do have more difficulties to get involved in that Japanese life and to have more contact with Japanese people. But maybe it's also due to the field I'm working in, because we are all working with people, so it's easy to communicate, and that's maybe why.
Yes. That's good.
Yes, and learning Japanese, on the other hand, it's also the contact with foreign people. And it allows you also to progress in reading and in talking to people. So I will need Japanese also for my research, of course, to read books and to make interviews with people. So it's a great combination of everything. And the campus at the university is just beautiful.
Yeah, just beautiful. Well, because you have, of course, been in a couple of universities. Compared with them, Hokkaido has a good facilities, you think?
I think, yes, great facilities.
Really?
And a beautiful park. It reminds me on the park of Geneva, Daigaku, but in much bigger extent, because you need half an hour to get from one side of Hokkaido to the other. And in Geneva it takes 10 minutes. So, but great facilities, yes.
Wow. You mentioned your future dream before, and could you tell us about your dream in the future?
Yes, I would love to work for indigenous people's matters, and education, I think, is one thematic that can be applied everywhere, and that will be still necessary for the future. So as I have been welcomed in so many places by indigenous people and before doing research, and I know them as friends and as families, so I really, somehow with my background that I had the opportunity to learn, to study, and I would like to give them something of this opportunity that I had, and that not all of them could have. So if I can somehow try to help a little bit and do something in their sense for human rights and for indigenous people's rights and for their culture, and then I would like to do it.
That's great. Yeah. Whenever I am going to go out this country, I mean going to abroad, I get really nervous, and sometimes I just feel sick even. And but you don't have that problem, I think. And so, what is the secret of?
Maybe it's because I come from 3 different cultures since my childhood. So my mother comes from Croatia, my father from Finland. I was born in Geneva, which is also an international town. So I think I have been traveling my whole life to visit my family in Croatia and in Finland, and growing up in an international city as Geneva, multicultural. I think somehow I feel at home everywhere. Maybe nowhere as well, but I can adapt everywhere I go. And I love meeting people, so it helps a lot.
But you never felt any danger or any...
Coming to Japan?
Coming to Japan? No, not necessarily coming to Japan, but when you were abroad, foreign countries, you felt always you feel safe?
Usually, yes.
Oh, okay. That's great.
Yeah, because I think, yes, as I told you before about Mongolia, but I think I believe in people somehow. Maybe it's some naive state of mind, but I think as human being, if you need help, another human being will come to help you. Of course, there are many kinds of people in that world, but there is always someone good next to you as well. So it's just, if you like people, there cannot be something bad.
So you think a majority of people are good or minority are good?
Maybe with age I discover not majority is good, but still I think, yes. I always, my first thought is always to think someone is good. And if someone is bad, I always think there must be a reason. Human being is not bad is not born bad. So there is always some background that makes a person behaving in a less good way, I would say like this. But I like people, and I believe everyone has a good side inside of him or her.
Wow. You can. We now know you can speak 8 languages, and so and you now are learning Japanese. I think. And what could be your advice for people here to learn foreign languages, including English? How you can be that fluent in many languages?
I think the best way is really to be in the place where that language is spoken. So, for example, maybe for Japanese people, because traveling to Europe or America is quite far away, but there are closer countries like New Zealand or Australia maybe that are also English-speaking countries, and that would be maybe one of the best ways to get used to those languages. I think for me Japanese was the most difficult because it took a long time before I could come to Japan, and it's very personal, but for me I need to hear the language, to use it in everyday life, to be able to learn it. Yes. Not on the paper. Yes. So
you have to get involved in.
Yes. I think it's the best way. And then Mongolian, I studied it, writing and repeating hundreds of times the same word just to be able to pronounce it. Then it depends, yes, how much you get involved in the language. Maybe a love of communication.
Yeah.
Yes, then that's one good point maybe to learn languages.
Do you have any message for Japanese people?
Yes, maybe one of. I'm so grateful of the way everyone has taken care of me here and welcomed me here. So, of a message, it would be gratitude and a big domo arigatou gozaimasu.
Yeah. Well, likewise, thanks very much.
And welcome to Europe as well. So,
really?
Yes, I hope Japanese people have also the opportunity to visit other countries, because traveling and meeting people, it opens our mind as well and the heart.
Yeah, that's good. That's wonderful idea, I think. Yeah. Anyway, thank you very much for joining us today. And,
Thank you.